Anime for blondes.
That awkward moment when your boyfriend and girlfriend have to interact.
Yeah. When he sticks his head in and she goes, bang. I thought it was cute. Action!
Hello, I'm Becca.
And I'm Allie.
And welcome to Anime for Blondes.
The girly pop podcast made for girls, gays, theys, and blondes.
The blondes is crucial.
Welcome back to our regularly scheduled programming.
Thank God.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I don't know what I'm going to do in 2 weeks.
I know what you'll be doing in 2 weeks.
I know what I'll be doing, but I'm depressed about it.
It is.
Doesn't mean I'm happy.
We're in a weird place right now.
I know. We're fighting. We're in a really weird place.
Me and Becca are in a weird place emotionally, but we still showed up.
Exactly.
Today.
It's like your parents that were like going through divorce, but they like still threw a birthday party for you. That's us right now.
No, guys, don't misinterpret that. We're fine. We're just being silly. Today we're talking about the Apothecary Diaries, the second to last episode.
Episode 47. I think it was episode 23 of season 2.
Okay. I'm just gonna take your word for that one.
You can.
If it's 47, yeah.
Oh,
yep.
Math.
Yeah, exactly.
Period.
Math. Okay, I love that for us. And today, last week we had like a Maomao, Shishou, and then Jinshi separate episode, and then this week, last time. And this week we've got Jinshi and Shishou.
Yeah,
except he's calling her Loulan.
That awkward moment when your boyfriend and girlfriend have to interact.
Yeah, it was super awkward.
It was a little awkward.
Okay, can I just say though? Okay, so when he sticks his head in and she goes bang or she goes bang in in Japanese, I thought it was cute. I thought that was cute as hell.
Kind of crazy in this scenario though.
No, it is. She just like says it. I don't know, to be like, got you.
It is funny. We're getting out of ourselves, but it is funny that he just like goes along with it, and the whole time she's like, you could overpower me.
Yeah, but he's like, nah, he's
like, I'll go along with it.
You had a list. She did. She had her list. He's like, you had something to show me.
No, exactly. I have a few disclaimers I want to make before.
All right, let's go.
We go into this.
Let's do this.
First, I did get sunburned on my scalp, so if you see dandruff, it's not dandruff. It's sunburn peeling. I didn't want anyone to see dandruff in my hair and think that I didn't take care of myself, you know?
Yeah, period.
And that's not technically dandruff. Like, dandruff is, like, actually a skin condition.
Okay. Is it just, like, dead skin?
Yeah, it's like when, like, I'm also peeling on my freaking arm, but it's like when you peel from a sunburn anywhere, but it's just on your scalp. So it's not actually dandruff, you guys.
Okay, good to
know. It looks like it.
Thank God.
I don't really remember what the second thing was, but, I feel like I'm recovering a little tipsy. I was a little tipsy.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Earlier.
We had like a single seltzer.
Yeah. And I feel like I'm still recovering, so if I'm just a little off, you guys, that's why.
Okay.
I remembered the thing.
Okay, great.
Third thing. We both watched this morning.
Yep.
And we barely remember a single thing about it.
That's the thing. It's like maybe once we start talking about it, I'll remember it more. But it's like I feel like a lot happened, but also it was all just conversation.
That I feel like it's kind of a hard thing to describe because it's like a lot of it was Shishou,
yeah,
telling his story, and it's like you kind of have to hear it from him. Kind of have to hear it from the horse's mouth.
The horse's mouth is crazy. We will just describe it as if we are also telling the story, I guess.
Yes. We'll try. But, like, I don't know if we can do it as much of justice as he did. No. So I would recommend just watching it, which I have to assume if you're watching this, you've watched it.
Yeah.
So sorry in advance if we get anything wrong or we omit anything that is, like, huge.
Also, yeah, this is definitely this is an episode where it's like I will definitely understand everything better once it's in my language.
Yeah.
Because when I'm listening and I'm reading, I'm trying to keep up, but I definitely missed some things.
Well, and I have to say, a lot of the things, it just kind of felt like it was like a lore wrap-up. Like, I felt like we knew most of...
We did. This was like the characters like communicating to each other.
Yeah.
Instead of just to the audience.
Exactly. It was like, hey, you guys have kind of seen this in the last few episodes, but like here we are kind of wrapping it all up.
Yeah.
And then hopefully next episode we'll get a little more Jinmao. A little more romance because we've kind of wrapped everything up.
Wrapped up the war part.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, this was I will say this season has been incredibly well structured.
It really has.
Like, we started out with a fucking, like, stray cat.
Yeah.
And meeting Shisui for the first time.
I know. I really need to rewatch this freaking show from season 1, honestly.
Yes, dubbed.
Literally. I need to hear Gojo.
KG Tang.
Yeah.
And so, like, it's just been, like, incredibly well structured, where it's, like, it just, like, escalated a little bit by a little bit, and, like, everybody's motives were intertwined and stuff, and, like, wrapped up stuff from season 1. It's just, like, this is just, like, a very, like, well-rounded story this season.
Mm-hmm. And we, like, even the episodes that we were like, this is filler, we continually get comments being like, what are you talking about? That was not filler. And we know.
It's like
we know now.
We know it. And, like,
at the time, it did feel like this is kind of random. And then as time went on, we were like, oh, wait, everything they do in this show actually
is important. Yes.
There's no filler.
Also,
but at the time, it kind of felt like filler.
Also, ghosts confirmed. Ghosts are real in this universe, I guess, based on that Storytime episode.
Not sure, honestly.
Because that was the vibe to me, apparently.
Yeah.
So yeah, if I did have to, like, sit on it, and I'm sorry if we forget anything. We're gonna do our best.
Yeah.
But it was a good episode, but it was definitely a heavier episode.
Yeah.
Very
definitely.
heavy. So, okay, let's go back to the beginning. Jinshi hears Lee Haku's whistle that says he got Maomao out.
Yep.
Which, a little premature for Lee Haku to, like, blow when they weren't out yet.
But he's confident in his abilities.
And I'm confident in him, too. Clearly, it was fine. But I was just like, what if they're like, oh, she's out? Okay, let's blow it up.
Yeah.
So, okay. So then they break into a room where there's just, like, a bunch of servants. Sure. They're like Shishou's guys.
Well, was it not the women? Were they not the ones that Shenmei were, like, making?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yep.
That she was doing the freak-offs with.
The freak-offs is crazy,
yeah.
but also
I'm just
correct.
Speaking in pop culture terms.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Lots of baby oil in there. Big baby oil stash.
Okay, we have not discussed that, but yeah.
I do love that, like, why would we have discussed that?
I know.
But, like, we just know what happened.
So of our time.
We're online. We're chronically online. That's
I know.
us.
It's a problem. So, okay. And then, so they got the guys. And also, I like that Jinshi just barges in. Like, I thought he was going to send someone else in, but no. He's leading the charge the whole time. He's checking room by room himself.
That's my man.
Yes. I'm like, this is an honorable soldier.
A man.
Okay, and then, so they got his men down. Shishou comes in with a gun.
Well, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was thinking Loulan. I was like, well, she didn't just come in.
Everyone's got guns, guys. But Shishou comes in with a gun, and he's like, damn it, if only, like, I had got you that one time we went hunting.
Yeah, okay, I was just having a thought. You know how in Jujutsu Kaisen where the girl had a gun and it was like, wait.
Yes, and it's like,
we're allowed to have guns here?
Yeah.
That's how it felt with everybody having guns this time. I was like, oh, I knew they were making guns. I'm like, it just feels so out of place all of a sudden.
This feels way more natural, though, because, like, we knew that
there was a whole gun subplot,
yeah. But, like, the reason why it was so weird and out of nowhere in Jujutsu Kaisen is because everyone's got, like, magical weapons or, like, swords or something, and then she just pulls out a fucking Glock.
Which is, like, kind of OP.
No, it's like, wait, why are you using bullets against all of us?
But yeah, it kind of, I had the same type of feeling with this, though, where I was like, I know this was a whole subplot, but it still does not fit in my mind that everybody just has a gun all of a sudden.
Oh, and his boss then was like, what are you gonna fucking do with that? You can't light it.
Yeah,
and then
he
Jinshi's
was thinking
like,
about an old model.
Yeah, no, he's got the new model, so he fires it. Jinshi pushes Boston out of the way and also deflects the bullet with his sword.
I was like, that's unrealistic.
I was like, there's no way.
I'm like, well, with that one's not realistic.
I will allow it, though. I'll allow it because it's Jinshi.
Yeah.
Remember when Jinshi was like, I'm not even, like, the best at combat, I'm just average?
Yeah. Remember when he was just, like, training alone in his room? at like sunrise.
Yeah, when he was just like depressed
at dawn.
and like I
miss it.
I love this era for him. I love
know.
seeing him like this. I love seeing him like be a man with his ponytail and stuff.
That was his untouchable era.
Yeah, and now he's in his
Honestly, near the end of the episode,
okay,
it was kind of giving the "my boy only breaks his favorite toys" fantasy that I had,
think?
because he said something like,
"Oh,
she's
this
in
is
danger."
my fault.
Yeah, I was like, "Wait,
you know what?
is my arc gonna happen?"
No. End of
Because
next episode, they're getting together.
If you will recall, you guys,
okay,
when we talked about our
Taylor Swift
playlist for
Maomao and Jinshi,
yes. One of the songs that we said was "My Boy Only Breaks His Favorite Toy," but
it's
specifically
almost perfect.
The outro, though, where it's like it would be a situation that, this was my guess, was that we'd get to a situation where Jinshi would feel like being with Maomao was too much of a threat for her, and so he would have to like break up with her to like to keep her safe, and that's what it would be like.
Yeah.
So I'm like, my theory loading?
Maybe. We'll see. I think we're due for a happy ending next episode, though.
I do think we'll get somewhat of a happy ending, because it's supposed to end at a place that's like a natural place.
Okay.
And then hopefully we'll get more seasons.
There's no way we don't, though. This has been so successful.
I hate to say there's no way, because there's been so many times in my life that I've wanted a show to get more seasons and felt that way, and it didn't get more. And so...
Dude, okay, you know what's crazy? This is so random. The word on the street is, though, we're getting a second But Anyway, I'm Falling in Love with You season, which is crazy.
I don't know that.
Yeah, it's a romance anime that takes place in 2020 during COVID.
Oh.
When they're all, like, teenagers. And so I'm like, the main guy's definitely gonna die at the end of this first season. But then I found out that they are making a second season, and I was like, how?
Does he die?
I haven't finished it yet because I haven't been emotionally prepared. I was like, I need to wait until I'm ready to be sad.
Is the second season gonna take place during COVID as well, or will it be in the future?
Because it's a dual timeline, so it shows them as adults, but we don't see the main guy as an adult, but we see the main guy with them as teenagers, and COVID's going on, so I'm like, he's definitely gonna die of COVID.
Wow, that's like...
No, it is.
Okay.
But everyone's in love with her.
Of
with
course.
the main girl. So I'm like, okay, I guess the second season will just be like about a different MMC.
There were a lot of people that didn't think the Samurai Turned Pretty would actually end up killing off Susanna, even though she died in the books. So
yeah,
but they did.
Yeah,
and maybe it'll be a situation like that where his death just impacts everybody else.
But anyways, my point is, I'm saying, like, to get a second season for like a romance anime is so rare that this genuinely surprised me. The fact that we've already had a second season for Apothecary Diaries and it's been doing so well, I feel like we'll definitely get a season 3.
I agree. I never like to say we'll definitely get it because I've been burned. You've been burned, you guys.
Too many times. I'm still holding out for Ouran High School Host Club season 2.
I'm still holding out for Girl Meets World season 4.
R.I.P.
Which...
Never.
Sabrina Carpenter is gonna get back in that?
Absolutely not.
No.
Imagine, though. Okay. Anyways.
Yeah, so we got our boy Shishou.
Yes. Oh, okay. Is he monologuing? Is he actually monologuing at this point, or no? I don't think he's the one who tells us his story.
No.
I think it's literally just Shisui telling us his story.
Yeah, she ends up telling it.
So, yeah, and he misses the shot, and he's like, well, damn, if only I had more time. And then he, like, throws his gun and starts laughing, and then everyone goes and stabs him. And
that was wild.
I was a little taken aback. I was like, I don't think we've ever seen someone actually get stabbed in this show.
Yeah, and it was like, they kind of, they gave him a, you know what I say is, like, so in a show, when someone is actually dead, they give that character, like, a moment where it will, like, the camera will focus on them, and, like, the music gets sad, and, like, that's signifying to the audience, like, this character is actually dead.
Do not expect to see them in the future.
If you do not get a scene of that with their dead body, they are not officially dead, and we will get to that. We will get to that in this episode.
Okay, I'm gonna...
But this is a thing that I feel like this is a common thread across shows and movies.
For sure.
So...
Yeah, so Shishou, definitely dead.
And they gave him his moment. They gave him his moment.
And Jinshi's standing there, and he's like, this is, like, a little too theatrical. He's like, I feel like I'm watching a performance.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then they spread out. They're looking for Loulan and Shenmei. And, you know, they're looking at a bunch of different rooms. Jinshi discovers a freaking, like, little door, a little slidey door. I'm like,
space.
I'm like, bro, are you dumb? Like, I know you're
goes into it by
like
himself.
I know, just sticks his head in there. Like, you don't want to like stick your arm in at first or something.
Like, bro,
or like poke it. I don't know. I wouldn't go full head immediately.
And there's my girl with a gun.
She goes bang at his head, and he goes, oh,
fancy seeing you here.
Oh. She's like, you were looking for me. You're gonna have to come with me. I need you to come with me. And he's like, okay, period.
And then, like, literally as they're walking, she's like, you know you could overpower me.
She's, like, walking back. She's like, you're really, like, following me right now. You're, like, not trying. She's holding him at gunpoint. She's walking backwards. He's walking forward. Mm-hmm. He is very, like, nonchalant about this. And I was like, well, he's wearing armor. And Malachi laughs. And he goes, armor is irrelevant when there's bullets involved. And I was like, okay. He was like, that's why armor, like, faded.
I didn't know that, actually.
I was like, but it's metal.
No, literally, I'm like, but it would deflect it like his sword.
No, okay, no, see? Thank you.
Maybe
like, why
not? Maybe it wasn't, like, so thick. Like, maybe it wasn't thick enough.
Maybe. His specifically looks really thick, though.
I know. And it's like, I guess that makes sense, especially with that's why armor has faded.
Yeah.
Because now we got bulletproof vests.
Yeah, but it's like, why are they special compared to, like, metal armor?
They got Kevlar.
Okay. Do I know what that is?
It's just what's in bulletproof vests.
Oh, okay. Oh, I did know that from WandaVision.
I'm just like, well, they're better because they have Kevlar.
Right.
I'm not sure why that actually makes them better, but I know that's why.
Okay, so they get to the room where she also has her mom being held hostage, Shenmei.
Yeah, and Sweet Ray's there,
Sweet Ray's there. Sweet Ray.
Okay. I can never keep their names straight.
It's Sweet Ray, and she stays on the floor and silent the whole time.
And just, like, sad eyes. Lots of expression in her face.
Yeah. She's, like, kind of broken at this point. And Jinshi comments on that. He's like, this is Sweet Ray. This is the girl who, like, broke into
Yeah, that's the thing. They kind of, like, they're like, hey, just in case everybody didn't connect the dots, this is the girl that tried to do the assassination attempt originally. It is the one that faked her own death. It is the one that also was, like, pretending to be a eunuch. Like, it's like, okay, we knew that. But, like, it did kind of feel like they were just doing, like, a lot of wrap-up.
They were.
In this.
They were. But also, I appreciate that. Yeah. And they're like, hey, guys, pay attention. We get it. Your attention spans are really bad.
Yeah.
Lock in.
Lock in, guys.
Lock the fuck in. And that's what Sweet. No,
yeah.
That's what Shisui said.
Yep.
Yeah, Loulan.
She said it's not clocking to you.
It's not clocking to you that I'm standing on business.
Literally.
and so she's like, hey mom, look, I brought this. Oh, also she's like, can I just call you Jinshi? Like,
and I was like, wait, she knows.
She knows. I'm like, she knows too much.
That was kind of cool. I liked that reveal that she knew.
She knew the whole time.
Because she's like, Kasugetsu. Or should I call you Master Jinshi? I'm like, okay.
He also didn't seem impressed.
No, he didn't. He was like, yeah.
He's like, damn it, that's me.
Literally.
So, okay. I was like, she's kind of losing it a little bit.
Yeah.
Loulan. And I couldn't tell. I can't tell if she's like the most sane person here right now or if she's the most insane person here right now. It was hard for me to like...
Yeah.
To clock, really. She puts her gun away, and she's like, before we all die, or something like...
Let me tell you my father's story.
Yeah, she's like, time for some entertainment.
Everyone sit down, get a blankie.
It's story time. And so, okay, and I did appreciate this.
No, I did too. I was excited about this backstory.
Yeah. She's like, I brought you this man because he's the one you hate because he looks most like the one who rejected you. Remember, he rejected you because he wanted your lady-in-waiting instead. He wanted your little lady-in-waiting and not you. And she's like pissing her mom the fuck off, and she goes, okay, that's enough teasing. Anyways.
She's wild.
She's kind of losing her shit.
She is.
Bit,
I
like,
think she's sane, but she's like on her last thread. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how she's appearing this whole time.
Pulling apart.
No, literally.
She goes, all this happened because you didn't love my dad enough. You wanted to be a concubine so bad that you didn't even fucking realize that you were just a hostage. He was never gonna go for you.
This was a wild, like, added lore that I need you to kind of break down for me. I'm a little confused.
Thankfully, me and Malachi debriefed afterwards, and I was like, okay, help me out here, because I was like, I think I get it, but I'm struggling, so let me recap.
Okay.
Slavery. We remember how, like, the previous empress, like, got rid of slavery.
Yes.
Okay. And we were like, oh, okay, girl boss, question mark?
Yeah, our queen.
Okay. So, the Loulan's family, the Shi clan. Yes, thank you. The Shi clan. They were rich because, like, they were all about slavery.
Okay.
They traded slaves. Which is basically just, like, they sold their extra women and stuff because they can't go to war, and so and they're another mouth to feed, so you sell your women for money, and then it's basically the same thing they do now, where it's like you can work off your contract, except they could get taken to other countries and stuff, and like get treated really badly.
Okay.
The Empress did not want the Shi clan to keep being rich, first of all, because they were a threat. As we've seen, they've been a threat kind of the whole time. They've proven that. Yeah, exactly. And so she wanted to outlaw slavery completely, and Shishou goes, okay, to win back favor with this family, because, by the way, he's not actually, like, a Shi. He's not from the Shi clan. He was adopted into the family because he was engaged to Shenmei. And the Shi clan didn't have a male heir.
But he was, like, a lord, I thought. They said.
I don't know.
Because when Shenmei was leaving, she was like, I can do way better than just a lord of.
Well, they were already engaged for, like, a while.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. So that's also why she has more power in the clan, because she's in the clan by blood and he's not. He's in the clan by marriage.
Okay, interesting. Where did we find that out? I don't remember that.
I had to look it up.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Oh my god. Where am I? Oh, okay. So he goes, hey, you don't want slavery to exist, but we don't want to be poor. What if instead we just, like, send all our women here and you guys can expand the rear palace? And we'll basically do the same thing, except, like, instead of selling our women to other countries as slaves, we just send them here as concubines. And then the previous empress was like, okay, I like this deal because, like, I'm trying to get my son to pick a woman, like a grown woman.
So now there'll be more
give him
women
more
around
to choose from, which is why they expanded and why, like, there's, like, that north side of the palace that is currently, like, abandoned and not super used because there's no need for it. But back in the day, it was used. Back in the day, like, a generation ago.
Okay.
Because they had way more concubines because that's where all their slaves were going. So, okay. And then, so Shenmei, yes, before slavery was, like, outlawed, was taken in to be a concubine as a hostage. Okay. Which is kind of like the whole thing, which is kind of like the whole Loulan thing, and it's like a business deal, but also can have positive results for everyone involved. Yeah. But also you're a hostage, and that's why it's a crime to leave. So he works out that deal, and he apparently dug in a secret passage, which is where that shrine that kidnapped Maomao through. He was like, okay, hey, I made this secret passage, I commissioned it, I'm risking everything, come with me, let's get you out of here. And she goes, and she seems really happy at first, like, she wants to leave because, like, she's not getting visited by the emperor, obviously, and you know, she's not happy, but then she's like thinking about everyone looking down on her, and basically she just doesn't leave out of pride.
Yeah.
She's like, no, leave me alone, get away from me, and she slams the door. And this is Loulan's like big gripe. She's like, all of this could have been avoided if you just went with him.
Yeah.
Which kind of true.
Yeah.
So, you know, she stays, they get rid of slavery, and then he takes in the emperor's granddaughter for him, and so he's like, hey, favor, can I get my fiance Shenmei out?
So, was confirmed.
Yes.
That.
Yes.
Which, it's like, what else favor? Like, what other favor would it be?
What else would it have been?
Yeah, but I'm glad that they confirmed it.
So Shenmei gets out, but now she's like all bitter because she was never chosen. And to, you know, make everything feel worse, now he also has an additional wife with this, like, you know, daughter who, on the record, I guess, isn't a bastard daughter.
Yeah.
And so she's just super insulted. And so she's like, okay, you know what? Fuck the capital, fuck the emperor, fuck everyone. We're gonna amp this up and we're just gonna take over. And so that's why they started this whole, like, rebellion thing.
Okay.
Because she's just like, I'm gonna burn the country down.
Yeah, it was all just her pride.
Because her pride was injured. And I thought that was really interesting because that's different from the old lady in the palace who helped, you know, Maomao get kidnapped and stuff, and who was kind of like down for getting rid of the emperor and stuff, because but it's for different reasons. It's because she's traumatized and she disagrees with the way women are used as like collateral in this system. So your perspective of like the old lady, you know how you were like, I just want her to be a good person.
Yeah.
You're kind of right. She's doing these evil things.
Yeah.
But, like, her reasoning for it is a lot more, like, pure. Shenmei's reasoning is because she feels slighted. She feels slighted. She's insulted. And instead of, like, you know, working on that within herself, she decided to take it out on everyone around her. Yeah. But Shenmei was so in love with her that he was just like, okay, whatever I gotta do to make my wife happy. Yep.
And, yeah, he kind of sold his soul for his love.
Yes, a little bit, but also Loulan explains that he was like gathering up an army and stuff and committing what is the money crime? What's the money crime that they're under arrest
not
for?
Treason.
Embezzlement.
He was embezzling money.
Yes, so he's like embezzling money for her and stuff, and they're like making guns and like gathering an army. But Loulan says that he got everyone who wanted to betray the emperor to work for him, and the people who did not want to betray the emperor, he left alone out in the world. So in theory, all of the like people who would want to rebel against the emperor and like bring down the nation
will now all be dead
because they're in like that one clan. They're in that one location.
Okay.
In theory.
Malachi
goes, there's always going to be someone who's going to want to bring down the nation. And I'm like, sure.
Yeah, but he got rid of a good amount of them.
Yeah, so Loulan says, like, in a way, that was her father's way of, like, still being loyal to the emperor while also betraying him at the same time.
Yeah, okay.
So, sure, okay. And she's like, he was a tanuki, you know? Tanukis are actually shy and they're actors.
Yeah.
And so he was putting on a performance. And
my girl's a daddy's girl.
She is.
What can we say about her?
She's not a mommy's girl. Which everyone else looking in would have thought she was a mommy's girl.
Yeah?
Okay. And then she pulls out Shisui's hairpin. Not Shisui. Suirei.
Yeah.
Loulan pulls out Suirei's hairpin.
Yeah.
And is like, look, she's the freaking granddaughter of the emperor.
Yeah.
Here's proof.
I'm like, she had that the whole time?
Like, the whole time? And for a sec, I thought for a second that was the pin that Maomao gave
I thought
her.
so, too.
Oh, but So, yeah, I thought it was the pin Maomao gave her that she planted on Suirei to, like, act as evidence.
She did a little sleight of hand.
Yeah.
It was, like, in her sleeve.
Yeah, exactly. But no, we had to pause it on the pin, and then I looked up a Maomao's pin. They are different pins.
Wow.
There are different pins. Or, okay, I think they're supposed to be different pins because they are not illustrated the same. They have similarities, but they're not the same. So if anyone is like, that's the same pin, show me your sources. Because I wanted to make super sure. So yeah, apparently she had that on her the whole time from the Emperor. And
the Emperor would, like, visit, like,
I guess,
later on in her life
and
for a while.
And I think that's why Loulan recognized the pin that Maomao had. That it was from the same family.
True. It's all connecting.
The dots are connecting. Jinshi doesn't react to them being related at all.
No, literally.
I was like, that's your cousin. Isn't this a little crazy?
Yeah, but I'm like,
a crazy
so
reveal?
is she saved now because of this info?
Yes.
Okay.
She is saved now. And I was like, okay, I guess that's the whole backstory, right? That's the whole thing? Okay, I don't think I missed anything.
I don't think you did either.
Her mom's like, you're a liar, blah, blah, blah. She takes Loulan's gun away from her, and then Loulan, like, antagonizes her even further, and her mom fires the gun to kill Loulan. It backfires and kills her instead.
Yeah, and she had that, like, set up the whole time.
So if Jinshi did take the gun from her, it would have killed him.
No, literally, I'm like, oh,
so it's like, actually, it's a good thing he was super cooperative.
High risk, high reward, my girl.
I guess.
Yeah, so that happens and it's crazy, and then Loulan's like, I'm gonna run outside.
She's like, I'm sorry, Mom, I had to do this. And she's like, hey, Master Jinshi, this is what I was gonna use to barter for my life. We don't know what was on the paper. But
she said it was like, it was more of her thoughts on, like, what...
Oh, to save the nation?
Yeah.
Okay, like the after effects of all of this.
Yeah, that's what she said. I don't know what that means.
Apparently she's an economic and political genius.
My queen.
I guess.
Women in STEM.
Women in STEM. This show is all women in STEM,
it really
guys. The pros and cons. And she's like, but anyways, here's that. And he's like, okay, what else did you want? She takes one of her mom's, like, little knifey finger things and puts it on, and then cuts him on the cheek.
Yeah.
And she was like, that was for you, Mom. And I'm like, okay, well, you just got yourself killed. I feel like you could have escaped if you didn't do that.
Well, and this is leading into my theory.
We're almost there.
We're leading into this, there. But that's part of it.
So she scratches his cheek. He just lets her.
Yeah.
She's like, thank you. Arigato. And... So this is when she goes outside and starts dancing. And I do love that both seasons have ended with, like, a dance.
Yeah, like, just a dance number.
The first season, Maomao's dancing, I think, for her mom getting married to Locken. And it's, like, you know, this, like, new birth. And, like, it's, like, sweet. And then she falls on Jinshi. But then this dance is just, like, her death dance.
It's her death dance.
And she's dancing for her dad, because she's a daddy's girl.
Yep.
And for her clan. Boston and his soldiers storm in. He sees that Jinshi's bleeding. And then he shoots Loulan.
Yeah.
So it's like, girl, she's like, I did this for you, Mom, because her mom was, like, jealous of Jinshi because he was so beautiful. So she wanted to, like, make him a little less beautiful. Personally, I think it's just gonna make him hotter, first of all. And second of all, if you didn't do that, so you don't like your mom anyways. Okay, why are you gonna do this for her? And Malachi was like, because it's, like, it's for her family. She's, like, standing by her clan. I'm like, okay, but we don't need to do that.
Now, see, I have a different theory.
Go ahead.
So,
let's do this.
This is my crackpot theory with this.
Becca's Theory Corner!
When she, like, gets... Do they shoot her or stab her?
Yes, they shoot her.
When they shoot her and she falls off of the thing, you see at one point that blood drips from her finger.
Yeah.
And I think it's Jinshi's blood from the thing. And I think she just needed that to make it seem realistic that she died.
She got shot multiple times.
I don't think she died, you guys. I think she had the Kevlar on.
Maybe she... I don't know.
We did not get a death scene of her.
We did not see her corpse. However, we did get Jinshi saying, I never saw her again.
And does that mean someone's dead?
I guess.
I think that specifically is, like, the main evidence that she's still alive, is the I never saw her again. Like,
oh, okay.
Because if she was dead, they would have showed her body, and they would have had Jinshi saying something like she died.
Do you think? Hold on. Do you think?
Okay. I'm listening.
Since no one knows what she looks like without makeup on, except for Maomao, that she's just gonna go back to the rear palace.
That'd be insane.
Just, like, not as a concubine, just as, like, her regular face.
That would be insane. I want that so freaking bad.
And Jinshi just thinks he's never seen her again.
That would be so crazy.
I don't think that'll actually happen, but what if it does?
I fear we're not going to see her again for a long time.
Or
if
ever.
But I do think they purposefully left that open-ended.
That she fell instead of... Okay, how high up are we, though? Is she going to survive a gunshot and a fall?
It's into snow.
Okay.
I am telling you, okay, like, I might be just connecting the dots too much here, but they specifically showed blood dripping from her finger.
To show that she got shot, to show that she got hit.
But why would they show specifically from her finger after she just scratched Jinshi, got blood in that little thing?
Can I say?
Okay.
It was the wrong hand. It was a different hand.
Was it? Are you sure?
Yes. She scratches him with her
I
left hand.
I trust you and I love you, but I cannot just, like, trust this, like, based on your memory. When we were just talking about how we barely remember this episode. Like, okay. I need you to not act like you are so confident about this when we both have watched this one time.
Okay.
And we started this episode, like, you actually, like, nope, different hand. Confirmed by me in my memory.
I'm pretty sure. Okay, one of us is right and one of us is wrong.
I'm just saying that's my crackpot theory.
Maybe she's not dead.
And I thought the finger thing was weird and didn't even, like, connect that it was because of the beauty thing or whatever. So I was like, I don't even know why she's doing that. So then that was me, like, finding a reason as to why she did that. I was like, oh, she did that for the fake blood.
I'm like, she could have gotten blood from anywhere, first of all.
Yeah, but she needed to get blood somehow, and she got it there.
She could have gotten it from her mom. She could have gotten blood from anywhere.
Yeah, but in the moment, like...
I don't know. Maybe it was another, like, kill two birds with one stone. Did you hear her say that? She's like, he killed two birds with one stone. And
No.
I thought of you.
I'm like, actually, I think you mean feed two birds with one scone. Only the real anime for blondes
fans will remember.
Yep. Yeah, go back and watch our Japan episode, you guys.
Oh, this is Becca's weekly. Did you guys know I've been to Japan?
Yeah.
Reference?
Just, like, by the way, we did do a bonus episode after I went to Japan. And we do reference that joke there, so we explain it all. So go watch that, you guys.
Guys, remember when we did 2 episodes every single week?
That was a nightmare.
You slayed it, though.
Somehow. I barely survived.
And now we have already, in less than a year of doing this, we already have almost 100 episodes.
Oh God, I know.
Isn't that so funny?
And that's why we're in the top 1% of podcasts.
Wait, period. Congratulations to us. Okay. Let's see. Oh, okay. And that whole backstory thing, I looked up a summary of it, and our girl, Yumna, at not Yumna on TikTok,
okay,
did a really good, like, breakdown and explanation.
I'm gonna need to watch that.
Yeah. I was like, I am taking your word for it, but also it tracks with what I remember also.
Okay.
So, and then I had to, like, look.
You're like, I looked it up.
I had to look at a summary.
To her TikTok.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Well, I was like, okay, what happened?
Yeah, I do love to have people tell me what happened after I'm, like, confused at something. Like, I watch a show and I'm like, I don't really get that. And then I'm like, let's see what other people have to say about it.
I know, you go to Reddit.
Yep.
You go to Reddit and I go to TikTok.
Exactly.
So...
Then we go back to, like, it's just Jinshi and...
this is just the wrap-up.
And someone got in trouble
it was
because...
Basen.
Oh, wow.
Basen got in trouble because Jinshi got cut on his cheek.
Yeah.
And he's like, I could have stopped it, but I didn't. Why would you
weren't
say
there.
That?
What do you mean? Like, no, you couldn't have.
I know.
And also, they, like, so dramatically wrap his head.
I know.
I'm
guys,
like,
it's
give
just
him a little
scratch
Band-Aid.
on the cheek. Do they? I don't think they have.
They
like,
don't
Band-Aids,
have Band-Aids,
so...
but it was just so like, why are they wrapping?
It's around his whole head. It's like his jaw was dislocated.
Yeah, it's like he got freaking he got his jaw done. He got pupil fat
God.
removal.
Guys,
he got a chin implant.
the filler, we've taken it too far.
We can't get into this.
Okay, we can't. But that's how
if you watch Love Island, you know.
You know. So, and then he's like, oh, it's a good thing our strategist isn't here.
Yeah. And then he's like, so where's my girl?
Where's my girl? He basically
he's
says
like, so
that.
I heard you blow the whistle, so my girl's safe?
And Gauchman's like, she's sleeping.
Oh, she's tired.
Good. And he goes to the little like room in the camp where she's at. She's sleeping next to the corpses, by the way.
Which they'll come back to life for sure.
That's probably why she wanted to sleep next to them, so that no one could do anything to them without her knowing, but she needed to sleep.
Also, there's a part where Loulan talks to Jinshi during the whole Loulan Jinshi part, where she's like, so you agree to not penalize anyone who comes back to life after death.
Oh!
I'm like, wait, what?
Oh!
So specific? I'm like, so what are you talking about, Loulan?
Okay. Girl, okay, so in the context of that conversation, she's like, by the way, there were some men who like had their names taken from them, so they basically already died. So you don't need to kill them, right? Because they're not the evil ones.
Okay.
That's in the context of that conversation. And then she like rephrases it, and then she's like, so you agree not to kill anyone who's already died. And when you just said that, my brain, wow.
No, I clocked that immediately.
I didn't.
Because I didn't understand why she was saying it. I was like, where is this coming from? Like, why is she acting like this is natural?
Why is she acting like this is a normal thing to say?
And also, like, why is she acting like she just has his word at this point? Like, he was the only one there still.
I know. So
they're gonna come back to life, and he's not gonna punish them.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Like, I did not clock that.
I almost forgot about it, because when it happened, I was like, that was so weird.
You're like, weird.
That might have been what I was talking about earlier, when I was like, someone said something really weird. Like, really weird and exaggerative. I think that was what it was.
Okay.
But yeah, and then Jinshi, he just sees Maomao, and he's like, okay, we got the corpses.
And he's like, why is she sleeping in here? And Gashun's like, this is where she wanted to sleep.
And she refused to be away from them.
And it's because we assume because she didn't want anyone to do anything to them while she was sleeping.
Yes.
And he's like, if it wasn't for me, she wouldn't have been here. He has that moment.
My boy
only
breaks his favorite toys.
And so he kneels down next to her, and then he notices like a bruise on her neck or some shit.
I'm like, is that a hickey?
And I think
he's like, has she been cheating on
They
him?
had a moment. But I think this is the thing that he was trying to look at more before they got interrupted last time, because he goes, hey, is that? And he's like reaching for her like face. And then they get interrupted.
Okay.
So I think that's the same thing. I'm not sure if we are already supposed to know what that is. I apologize if we are.
I do not know what that is.
My bad.
So I'm
I don't
sorry
know what
if
it
I'm
is.
supposed to.
But I also just remembered if that wasn't Jinshi's pin that Loulan planted on Suirei, then Loulan still has that pin.
Yep.
Do you think we're never gonna see her again, but maybe Maomao just finds the pin in her belongings?
That would be interesting.
Anyways, that's not even what this is about. He goes to like look at whatever's on her,
and he like brushes her hair back.
Oh my god, it's so cute. And then she wakes up. She's like, "What are you doing? What are you doing,
Master Jinshi? Master Jinshi, what are you doing?" I'm like, that's Kasugetsu. Like, why are you calling him Master Jinshi still? This is crazy.
He'll always be Master Jinshi.
No, I know, but I'm like, how is she not like freaking out that this is like the Emperor's brother?
Because she kind of already knew. She already knew,
but it's been confirmed.
She also doesn't really have like big reactions to things.
Yeah, and
also,
she was waking
sleepy.
up. Yeah, but it was just so funny.
She's
Master
like
Jinshi,
also like been super stressed.
Yeah,
like she hasn't had the chance to react.
My girl has never reacted the way I expect her to react in this whole show. So
here's why she would kill it in Love Island, because she never lets anyone know what she's thinking.
Yep. Or she'd just be sent home.
Or she'd just be sent home immediately.
Yeah.
But but like you cannot tell when she's processing an emotion.
No.
You have no idea. She processes that internally and quietly.
Yeah.
So like we'll get there, maybe.
And so that was pretty much it for the episode. And then they get into the preview. It's a very interesting way they do the preview this time.
It was a lot of flashbacks.
Yeah.
And I was like, I swear to God, this last episode, it better not fucking be a summary episode. I don't want that.
It better not be.
I will, on the record, I hate summary episodes. And in every anime, never for a finale, by the way, never for a finale, but in every anime, there's always an episode that it's like, oh, by the way, here's like some funny moments, or like, hey, remember that happened? And like they frame it like they're just having a conversation, but it's just a like summary or like recap episode. I know. And I hate them every single time. And if that's the finale of season 2, I will be so pissed.
Yeah, I will too. It's like in regular shows and real people shows, it's like
not real people shows.
It's a clip episode. Like they just play clips from the old episodes. And it'll be like the characters, like in like Friends or something. They'll be talking. They'll be like, yeah, remember that one summer? And then it like is just a clip from an old episode. Yeah. It's like, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I hate it when they do that in anime.
I know. So hopefully we don't have that as an issue.
We did see, I hope I did not imagine this.
Okay.
I feel like we saw her hugging Jinshi in the preview.
Maomao and Jinshi?
Yeah. I feel like we saw Maomao hugging
I don't know
Jinshi.
if I clocked that.
I want to say that's what happened.
I don't know if I'm standing on business.
I'm sitting. I'm
sitting.
not standing. I am sitting politely on business.
2 cheeks down.
Not 10 toes.
I just came up with that.
You're so
off the
funny.
top.
You're so
off the top, guys. Actually,
guys, Becca's the funniest person I've ever met.
That was so stupid.
It's so dumb, but like, who else would have thought of that?
My brain, you guys. It's
the inner
lot going
Patrick,
up there.
The inner workings of my mind are an enigma.
And it's the milk spilling. That's literally my brain.
Anyways,
guys.
So that was our episode. We only have one more episode of Apothecary Diaries left. I actually think we did a pretty good job talking about the episode.
I'm actually kind of shocked. Remember when we said we didn't know what we were going to talk about, and now it's 40 minutes later?
Hour? Oh, cool. Yeah, I do want to... We'll talk more about the themes and stuff about the show overall.
Maybe we'll do, like, a whole recap episode after.
I don't know. We'll like, see. Season... Maybe after you watch seasons 1 and 2. And,
yeah,
like, remember
and we'll do a whole, like... the state of Apothecary Diaries.
Remember how I said I hate recap episodes? But
maybe
we're gonna do one.
And it'll just be going back to clips of us. We'll be like, and then remember that one episode, and then it goes and it's just clips of our whole podcast.
That would actually be really cute because it would show like how much we've grown.
And we could do it as like a cloud. And it would zoom in on the cloud.
That's cute.
Oh my god.
We're getting creative in here.
Yeah.
Okay. So next week is the Apothecary Diaries finale episode. We'll also have a special guest.
So excited.
And then that'll be the end of season 2 for Anime for Blondes as well.
And then you'll never see us again, guys.
It's over.
Because we're ending the podcast.
We're ending the podcast because I simply cannot commit to watching Attack on Titan.
No, exactly. End season 4. Because you just simply...
No, it's like, oh, damn, I just don't think this is working
it's
anymore.
Just like, the chemistry isn't there anymore.
we fizzled out. Okay, make sure you follow us on social media at Anime for Blondes Pod on TikTok, on Instagram.
And make sure that you subscribe to us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you like to listen to your podcast. And also leave a review or comment or like whatever you can do on your platform of choice.
Comment your Loulan theory. A, will we ever see her again? B, is she alive or is she actually dead and we're being stupid? Or will she just leave the pin behind for Maomao to find?
Ooh.
I think C is the most reasonable.
I don't know.
But I also think she's dead and we're just kind of being a little too hopeful here.
We'll have to watch and find out.
Okay, and then and we'll see you next week for the Apothecary Diaries finale.
Bye guys!
Bye!
Anime for Blondes.